Welcome back to the channel Silent Ruptor. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Let's continue Affinity Chaos. Chapter 1671, You're Not Enough to Punish Me. The leopard ran after Gray, who had already passed through the opening. Gray was welcomed by a large cave, but he could tell that it was very spacious the further he walked in. It was as if there was an entire city hidden in the mountain. To be honest, this wasn't the first time he was seeing something like this, but this was probably the first time he was seeing one used by magical beasts. There was a pathway that led further into the cave, and just as he was about to start the journey into the cave, he caught sight of the leopard running after him. "Don't bug me, don't think I won't kill you." The only reason the leopard was still alive was because Gray didn't see any point in killing it. After all, it saved him the trouble of having to explore this place for hours searching for the opening when it was at the foot of the mountain the whole time. There's also the fact that he was technically invading their space. Although he had killed countless magical beasts in this manner, he didn't want to continue wantonly killing them since these magical beasts all had lives, but if any of them wanted to kill him at all costs, he didn't mind returning the favor. The leopard paused when it heard Gray's words. It knew that it was not on Gray's level, so it wanted to see if it could plead with Gray to leave this place alone. "If you open your mouth again, you'll lose the ability to speak, forever," Gray added when he noticed the leopard hesitating. Void wanted this treasure, so he was going to get it. It didn't matter what the leopard said. After passing through the pathway, he saw a flourishing civilization, well, of leopards. Most magical beasts outside prefer solitary lives, but these leopards have formed tribes, just like those beasts in the forest. There are countless cases like these as well. The magical beasts will create a tribe and then live with the aid of themselves for protection and also giving themselves the chance to grow, rather than kill each other. The leopard didn't speak as he followed from behind secretly. It knew Gray knew of its presence, but since he wasn't saying anything, it meant he didn't mind it being around. As long as it didn't get in Gray's way, that is. "Void, can you sense it?" Gray asked Void after they sneaked into the tribe of snow leopards. Void nodded and said, "It's there. Let's go. They have a late-stage rank 8 magical beast guarding it. There's no way to sneak in." Void's words alarmed Gray. A late-stage magical beast definitely wouldn't be easy to deal with. Even a late-stage elemental sovereign among humans, not even the ones who are geniuses, but the normal ones are very hard to deal with, much less a magical beast who in most cases are better than their human counterparts in the same cultivation level. "Don't worry about it. You say this thing is good for you?" Gray questioned to see if it was worth it. "No, the best treasure I've ever seen," Void replied. Void is someone who has a very high standard when it comes to treasures, and from their travels, he has come across countless top-tier treasures. The fact alone that he was saying this was the best treasure he has ever seen means that it's probably heaven-defying. Void is already amazing as it is, adding this heaven-defying treasure to it will only make him even more powerful. Gray's curiosity towards this treasure spiked as he too wanted to see just what could get Void this worked up. Thinking about the leopard in the late stages of the 8th rank that he has to deal with, he felt a slight headache. From the looks of things, he knew that there's no way he could see this treasure. At most he'll distract the leopard while Void and take the treasure. After some thoughts, Gray turned to the leopard who has been silently following them all this while. "Looks like you still have some uses." Gray didn't want any issues, and being the meticulous person he is, the best way to enter the place where the treasure was kept was through the aid of this leopard. The leopard will be used to gather information, while Gray will see if he could trick the late-stage rank 8 leopard. The leopard was placed under Gray's control and it took the lead. "Hide inside its body. You'll get closer to the treasure this way," Gray suggested. Void didn't have any issues with creating a space in the body of the leopard and knew that as long as he was careful enough, no one here could sense him unless he wanted to be found. The leopard entered the tribe and headed straight for the eastern part of the tribe. The treasure was kept there, and that was also the region where the late-stage rank 8 leopard resided. Gray was careful as he didn't want to be exposed. He wasn't familiar with the other leopards in the region, and that's not something that should happen since this leopard was a rank 8 leopard and therefore should have quite a high status here. The leopard could be classified among the top experts in the snow leopard tribe. In the human world, this was a very powerful force, and only those top factions and families wouldn't have to worry about them. Thinking about it, Gray realized that these magical beasts tribes always tend to have at least one late-stage rank 8 magical beast in them who acts like the leader of the tribe. A few minutes went by before the leopard successfully maneuvered its way to where the treasure was located. As soon as it was within a few hundred meters away, the cultivation level of the magical beasts in the area spiked. From the mid-stages of the 7th rank to the early stages of the 8th rank. If not for Gray and Void's powerful spiritual abilities, they wouldn't have been able to sense the strength of these guys who were hiding. Gray knew it would be hard for him to get too close to the treasure. The moment these leopards sense any form of abnormality, they'd attack immediately and question later. This was their sacred treasure, after all. Void, can you enter from here? He asked softly. No, I need to get closer. Void replied. He was still too far from the treasure. He needed to enter at least 100 meters of it. The leopards in the region didn't make things easier for him. Hang on, I'm afraid you'll only have a few seconds to sneak in. Don't waste the chance. Gray wanted to attract all those magical beasts to where he was, but he knew that if the late-stage rank 8 leopard doesn't make an appearance, then it would be meaningless. He wiped off the dust on his top and flew into the air. He looked at the tribe and sighed. The things I do for friends. I'm here to challenge the great snow leopards. I hope I'm welcomed. His voice was loud and clear as he spoke out. The leopard tribe didn't expect any visitors, especially one as brazen as this. All the leopards in the tribe came out. They looked above them to see a small human floating in the air with his hands behind his back. It was as if he was lording over them all as he stood in that manner. A human dares to come into our tribe and act presumptuously. Kill him. A loud roar came from the depths of the eastern part of the tribe. Gray knew that it was the voice of the late-stage rank 8 magical beast. He couldn't help but pray that it came out. If it didn't come out, there's no way Void would be able to sneak into the place where the treasure was kept. 2 snow leopards in the early stages of the 8th rank flew to the air to confront Gray. These were leopards looking to gain favor in the eyes of the leader. It's been a while since a human barged into our tribe. What I can say is that, none has ever left this place alive. It's the reason we're still undiscovered for hundreds of years. I'm only here to spar with the famous snow leopards. I bear no ill intent. Gray was humble, not showing any air of arrogance. It doesn't matter, invaders are all given the same punishment, execution. One of the leopards roared and charged at Gray. Gray expected this in the first place. Magical beasts are not the type that likes talking, they attack at the slightest disagreement. His lips curved upwards as he said, "You're not enough to punish me." Boom. The body of the snow leopard that came to challenge Gray slammed into the ground as he stood in the sky looking down at them. He had a blank expression on as he defeated the snow leopard. This was a snow leopard that was a couple of 100 years old, but compared to Gray, the difference in strength is shocking. All it took was a single attack from Gray and it was defeated. I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little serious. If this is all the mighty snow leopards have to offer, then it seems like I've wasted my time. I'll let my little sister come take you guys on then. Gray's words infuriated the snow leopards. Magical beasts are prideful. Hearing Gray speak about their clan like this made every single one of these snow leopards angered. Another snow leopard appeared. This one was in the mid-stages of the 8th rank. From Gray's deduction, this leopard is at least 1,000 years old. Gray couldn't help but feel amazed at its age. Being this old yet looking so far from dying of old age is amazing. His view of age is greatly affected due to growing in the Azure Empire, so even after coming to the Aurora continent, he's still amazed by the fact that there are multiple people over the age of 1,000 years. Kid, this isn't the place for you to be cocky. For the sake of your family, we'll let you leave alive. Don't tempt us further, get away. The snow leopard that appeared didn't rush to attack Gray, rather, it tried to convince him to leave. Magical beasts are known for their aggressive nature, but it doesn't mean they didn't know how the world works. The fact that Gray was still this young and could show such strength means that his background is frightening. As much as they didn't accept intruders, there were a few exceptions, Gray being one of those exceptions. Gray tilted his head to the side and asked, "Why would I do that? I came to test my strength, and I'm not leaving without testing it." The leopard was a bit irritated with Gray's words. It's clear that he didn't take them seriously. It let out a soft growl of discontent and turned to look towards the eastern part of the tribe, seemingly searching for a response from there on how to deal with this problem. Gray is powerful, they could tell from the fact that he managed to defeat the previous leopard with a single attack. However, it didn't mean this leopard is afraid of him, it just didn't want to hurt the heir to some powerful force and put their tribe in danger. You seem afraid, why's that? Gray asked, curious as to why this leopard would rather talk to him than attack. I'm afraid of no one. Leave our tribe, we have no enmity with you or your family. The leopard spoke firmly. Oh, looks like you're afraid that if anything happens to me your tribe will be wiped out, right? Gray figured out the reason behind the leopard's reluctance not to fight. A smile appeared on his face as he almost said, "Dumb beast." If he knew that these leopards were afraid of any retaliation from his family, he would have used it to force them to give him the treasures a long time ago. Who would have known? Since he's already here and that information has been revealed to him, he didn't see any reason why he shouldn't use it to force the tribe leader out. I'll say this once, I came out to test my strength, and I'm not leaving without doing that. If you refuse, I won't leave, he said with a smile. These snow leopards were in this secret realm, yet they still knew how the world usually works. Well, even here there are hierarchies and it's normal for this to happen. Come, let me test your strength. Gray took the initiative to attack, not waiting for the leopard's response. The leopard didn't expect Gray to attack just like that, but it was prepared. It was over 1,000 years old, and it has experienced too many things in life. There's no way it would allow a small child that even its great-grandchildren are older than. Boom. The leopard blocked Gray's light beam attack. It didn't want to fight, but it didn't mean that it would back out from a fight. Since the human wanted to die early, it didn't mind sending him on his way. The leopard was very fast, it roared and its figure vanished. Gray's eyes widened when he saw this. The difference in speed between this snow leopard and the one that attacked him while ascending the mountain was massive. The leopard appeared behind him as it swung its claws at him. He turned around, and just like the leopard, his figure vanished. He too was fast, but right now, his space element is what he used. He appeared behind the snow leopard and attacked, striking at its head. The leopard saw Gray's attack, and contrary to Gray's expectations, it didn't dodge, rather, it moved in a human-like way. Using one of its paws, it grabbed Gray's leg that was coming towards its head and used Gray's momentum to throw him to the side. Gray was caught unaware, so he lost control of his body for a short while. But given his battle experience, he reacted quickly, hurriedly readjusting his body midair to ensure that he wasn't attacked again after being tossed to the side. The leopard didn't expect Gray to attack in such an orderly manner, even after being tossed to the side. Before the leopard could even react, Gray had already repositioned himself, ensuring that he wasn't in a disadvantageous position, which was a testament of his shocking battle experience. The leopard's expression turned serious as it attacked once again. Since the fight had begun, what's the point in holding back? It'll beat Gray up, but it knew not to seriously hurt him. It didn't have the strength to repel the family behind Gray. Over the past years, there have been a few tribes that have been wiped out for being overly aggressive towards these human prodigies that trespasses into their tribes. It's natural that this was the rules of the magical beasts tribes, but all rules have people that they become useless to. Take Gray for instance, he's one of those people. If Gray is killed here, then the entire snow leopard tribe is as good as gone. As prideful as these beasts, they'd rather protect their tribe and endure the shame than to kill Gray. Boom, bam, bang. The speed of their exchange was frightening. Both parties excelled in terms of speed. Well, the snow leopard was slightly superior with its short burst speed, but Gray's space element gave him the chance to match up to the leopard. Most of the leopards watching couldn't believe that Gray was fighting this leopard on an equal level. This was the first time they've seen such a human prodigy. It's common knowledge that most magical beasts are superior to humans in the same realm, so they are used to suppressing their human counterparts. However, this is one of those instances where the magical beast didn't get the advantage over its human counterpart. The fight raged on, and some caves which were the residence to some of the snow leopards in the tribe had been destroyed by the destructive force from the impact of the duo's attacks. Gray noticed this, and although he didn't want to destroy the place, he also wanted to force the late-stage rank 8 snow leopard out by all means. I have to use even more destructive attacks. He didn't want to kill any of the snow leopards here, but it didn't mean he couldn't hurt a few and cause some minor destruction. As long as the tribe leader of the snow leopards doesn't come out, he'll continue his destruction. Boom, bang. The number of caves getting destroyed increased exponentially, and in a matter of a minute, 50% of the caves in the region of the battle had been destroyed. All snow leopards below the 8th rank who were injured from the impact of the attacks. The snow leopard battling with Gray increased its strength when it noticed that it was being overpowered by Gray, hence causing the massive destruction. It wanted to stop the fight, but for some reason, Gray became more aggressive with his attacks. He didn't give it the chance to even retreat. Human, you're going too far. It roared at the sight of the massive destruction caused to its tribe from the fight. It was clear to see that Gray was doing it on purpose. NOVELBJN.C. What do you mean? We're just testing each other out. Gray laughed as he attacked with even more vigor. It was as if he was motivated. Boom. The battle shook the mountain, and more caves which were the residences of the snow leopards were getting destroyed. At the moment, a third of the entire caves in the tribe has been destroyed. At this rate, it won't take another 10 minutes before the entire snow leopard tribe is destroyed. Enough. A powerful roar came from within the tribe, along with an earth-shaking pressure that forced all the snow leopards present to bow their heads. This was their tribe leader, the late-stage 8th-ranked snow leopard. Its strength is vastly superior to that of the mid-stage snow leopard Gray was currently battling with. Even though it was just a minor realm, the difference in strength is massive. This is also the case for humans. In the sovereign plane, the difference between a 7th stage sovereign and a 6th stage sovereign is unimaginable. Of course, there are a few people who could cross that gap. Gray could be said to be among the top geniuses who can achieve this. His friends weren't exempted as well as their talents were all peerless. The pressure from the Snow Leopard tribe leader got to Gray, and immediately it got there. The domineering nature of the Chaos Orb which was in Gray's body reappeared after a long period, dismissing the pressure from the tribe leader. No-vel-bjn.c ohm. The Snow Leopard tribe leader expected that its pressure would have been enough to put Gray in his place, but it didn't expect that it was completely useless against Gray. Oh, there's an even stronger one, why didn't you come out from the start? Gray smiled and added, you shouldn't have allowed me to play with this little cat when there's a bigger cat. The tribe leader looked at the destruction caused from the battle between Gray and the previous Snow Leopard. Human, I might not kill you, but it seems I'll have to punish you on behalf of your parents. Unruly beings like you should be exterminated. The Snow Leopard was annoyed, but it knew that there was no way it could dare to do anything more than injure him. Even causing serious injuries will put their entire tribe in danger. It has encountered human prodigies like these, and has seen just how terrifying the power behind them is, and none of them seems to be on the level of Gray, which means his status is definitely superior. Gray had a confident look on, he didn't budge and said, as long as you can defeat me, I'll naturally accept whatever punishment you have for me. Human, I hope you don't regret your words. The Snow Leopard said. Gray's pupils dilated before he could finish his sentence. It's fast. Bang. Gray reacted quickly, creating an earth wall in front of him, trying to use it to block the path of the Snow Leopard. The earth wall cracked, but didn't break, which made Gray heave a sigh of relief. Oh no. Gray's heart dropped, he couldn't sense the presence of the Snow Leopard on the other side of the wall, which meant one thing, it wasn't there. Gray's eyes moved at a shocking speed as he tried to locate the Snow Leopard. Boom. He sensed the Snow Leopard, but it was too late. He was slashed by the powerful claws of the Snow Leopard and his figure slammed into the ground, causing a 5 meters deep crater. The Snow Leopards in the tribe were excited seeing Gray being beaten by their tribe leader. Gray's arrogant comments made them develop hate for him. Unfortunately they weren't strong enough to beat him up, and even the first elder of the tribe wasn't able to do anything to him, and only when the tribe leader came out did he put Gray in his place. Gray climbed out of the crater and removed the dust from his clothes. He looked at the tribe leader and stretched his body, a smile on his face as his figure disappeared. Bang! Gray and the tribe leader clashed, and although Gray was weaker, he didn't let the tribe leader get the advantage. After being forced a few steps back from the impact of the attack, he used his fire element to attack the tribe leader. The flames were forcibly dispersed by the wind of the Snow Leopard. Ice shards were shot at Gray, which he dodged and unleashed some of his own. The tribe leader had a superior attack power, but Gray was standing his ground. He wasn't rash with his attacks, and he made sure he dodged some attacks he felt were too dangerous for him to take head-on. Boom. Bam. Bang. The duo started going moves for moves. Gray wasn't even scared of a physical battle with the tribe leader, after all, he has a very strong physique. The speed of their clash was insane, and other than the two Snow Leopards in the mid-stages of the 8th rank, the others couldn't keep up with them. The Snow Leopard, which was the first elder that Gray was previously fighting with, was shocked by the fact that Gray could actually keep up with the tribe leader even though he was a few stages below him. One has to know that speed is one of the innate abilities of Snow Leopards, so the fact that Gray could keep up with the tribe leaders while being some stages lower than him meant that on the same stage, Gray's speed can almost be said to be unparalleled. What sort of freak is this? This was the only question in the head of the first elder. It's one thing keeping up with him, but keeping up with the tribe leader is shocking from their standpoint. The first elder wasn't the only one who was shocked. Even the tribe leader who was battling with Gray couldn't believe that Gray, who he was planning to teach a lesson, could not only keep up with him, but his attacking abilities are outstanding. Anyone else would have been fully suppressed by the tribe leader, and even though the tribe leader had the upper hand, he wasn't suppressing Gray. Gray could counter, and even force him back on a few occasions. Gray, on the other hand, was flabbergasted. The number of craters his body has formed in this place has gone above 10, and he could feel his body starting to show signs of pain. The only reason he could still fight was the adrenaline from having to fight such a powerful opponent. He didn't think he had fought someone like this since entering the Sovereign Plane. He had fought with a few experts stronger than him, but the gap was around 2 stages or so, and humans are relatively weaker than magical beasts, which made this one different. Void. I need more time. This thing is hard to acquire. What do you mean you need more time? What else does it mean? I'm getting beat up here. You're not going to die. Phew. Gray couldn't complete what he wanted to say before he was sent flying once again by the tribe leader. Bang. His figure slammed into the walls, creating another crater, this one a bit deeper due to the increased force the tribe leader was starting to use. Seeing this, Gray almost wanted to cry, but there were no tears to shed. The tribe leader had been going easy on him, seeing that he was proving to be stubborn, it wanted to show him the difference between them. Human, you can't win against me, leave while I still have my temper in check. The tribe leader said calmly as Gray came out of the crater. What do you mean? I'm just getting started, Gray said, a little out of breath. It was easy to see how pressured he was feeling from the fight, yet he was still fighting. Are all humans this stupid? This was the question in the heads of most of the snow leopards present. They could see that Gray was inferior to the tribe leader, hence he was being beaten, yet he didn't want to give up. Could it be that his head was hit too hard and he has turned dumb? A few of the snow leopards believed this was the case, cause anyone in their right minds would have given up already. Gray didn't give the tribe leader the chance to do anything, he attacked instantly, forcing it to continue fighting with him. The tribe leader growled in anger when it saw Gray coming towards it once again. It was starting to get irritated with the way Gray was acting, and it was starting to lose control of its temper. Gray noticed the sudden spike in power in the tribe leader. Now, each attack forced him back, and any single mistake, he might become seriously injured. He knew that he couldn't make any mistakes now, and his battle experience came to play at this moment. Gray's battle experience is shocking for his age, he has been in too many life-and-death fights since he became an elementalist and started his journey to the top. So being put in this position, his frightening ability came into play. The tribe leader, who thought it would be able to fully suppress Gray now that it had gotten serious, was stunned when it noticed the change in Gray. It could tell that this wasn't something that just came, rather, it had been honed for years, and now Gray was just showing parts of it. Against anyone his age, Gray could be regarded as the number one in terms of battle experience. The duo started exchanging blows, and this time, they were a tad faster than what they were previously doing. This time, even the first elder could barely keep up with their speed. It couldn't believe its eyes, seeing that even when the tribe leader was serious, the human could still keep up with it. The tribe leader was superior in terms of speed to most magical beasts in the same stage as itself, yet Gray could keep up, although barely, it was still shocking given the gap in cultivation stages. A few minutes went by, and both Gray and the tribe leader were slightly injured. The white fur of the snow leopard had a few black spots as well as red. Gray managed to injure it, but he wasn't unscathed. Gray could tell that at least 2 ribs were broken, his left arm felt numb, he was 100% certain that it was broken too. Damn it Void, aren't you done yet? This time, Gray knew that if he continued, he might cause himself some serious injuries that would hinder his exploration of this place. At the moment, he needed at least 5 days of recuperation before he could start exploring once again. And even with this, he would have to avoid any battle since he wouldn't have fully recovered at that time. He just wanted to check for treasures, and anyone that required fighting, he'd send Void in his place. I'm done. You can stop fighting now. Gray heaved a sigh of relief when he heard this. The tribe leader's eyes were starting to turn red, and just when it wanted to unleash its most powerful attack. Time out. Gray yelled as he retreated. No vel bjn.c. I'm no longer interested in fighting with you. You can go back now, I'm leaving. With that statement, before the tribe leader could comprehend what was happening, Gray had excited the mountain the way he entered. He was fast, and it was clear that he didn't want to engage with the tribe leader any further. All the snow leopards cheered when they saw this. They could tell that Gray ran away in fear of continuing the fight, which meant that their tribe leader was the stronger one. Well, given the number of craters Gray formed in the tribe, they didn't need anyone to tell them who was stronger. The tribe leader looked in the direction Gray ran in and shook its head, clean up the place. Unlike the fight between Gray and the first elder, the damage caused when the tribe leader and Gray fought wasn't even up to 20% of the damages caused during the previous battle. Gray had the upper hand against the first elder, hence the reason he could cause this much damage. The tribe leader, however, was stronger than Gray, so it could properly manage the damage caused from the fight. After dropping orders, the tribe leader flew back to its cave, which was just a few meters away from where the treasure was kept. It could sense that something was wrong, but it couldn't place its paws on it. Thinking about it, the only thing that could make it feel this unsettled was their treasure. Although it knew that there was no way it could have been taken away, it still felt compelled to check it out. When the tribe leader got there, the 2 snow leopards in charge of watching the entrance were still there. The tribe leader nodded its head at them before going in. Roar! An earth-shaking roar rang out from the cave, and even the mountain shook from it. The tribe leader released a baleful aura from its body along with the roar, it was irate. Go out and search for the human right now. Its voice echoed in the entire mountain. They could all sense the killing intent seething from the voice of the tribe leader. The two snow leopards who were outside shook from fear. The only reason the tribe leader would roar in such a manner, and also send people out, meant only one thing: the treasure had been stolen. The duo felt like they were about to die, as they didn't expect that the treasure which they had been protecting for years was stolen right under their noses. They rushed in, and just as they suspected, the treasure was gone, and the tribe leader, who was ready to kill something, was all that was standing in the cave. "Why are you two still standing here? Go after the human before I kill you." The tribe leader yelled at the duo, "Don't come back to the tribe without any information about the human." The tribe leader knew that none of them could deal with Gray, and it didn't plan for them to handle him. All it needed was for them to pass on the information of where Gray was located, and then it would go after him on its own. How come? The tribe leader found it impossible to believe that humans could take its treasure while it was still alive and it didn't notice. It created a form of link between it and the treasure, so the moment it was taken, it would know instantly, but it didn't sense anything. If not for it feeling unsettled, it would have never noticed this until it was too late. At the moment, there's a good chance to catch up to Gray since it hasn't been long since he left. The entire snow leopard tribe became active as they all rushed out of the mountain, all rushing out in search of Gray. Outside the mountain. The moment Gray came out of the mountain, he didn't know if the tribe leader would notice their treasure missing immediately, but it didn't matter to him as he flew away as quickly as he could. He hid his aura, and even the blood on his body had been burned up. After all, the snow leopards were predators and could use the smell of blood on his body to track him down. "What took you so long?" he asked Void as he was escaping from the area. "The thing is connected to something, I had to break that first," Void replied. Hearing Void's words, Gray knew that it was most likely connected to tribe leader. A few seconds after he left, the roar of the tribe leader shook the mountain. Gray was already kilometers away from the mountain, so he didn't hear the roar of the tribe leader, but he knew that the snow leopards would search for him throughout the rest of his days in this place since he took their most important treasure. His objective at the moment was searching for a good place to recuperate, and after almost 1 hour of searching, he finally found a place he felt was safe enough. Only after creating a few arrays to be extra safe did he start recuperating. He needed to make sure that he healed his broken bones as soon as possible. Even with his shocking defenses, he still broke a few bones under the powerful attacks of the tribe leader. While Gray was recuperating, Void started absorbing the treasure he stole. The bunny leader was in charge of ensuring that they were safe. With the number of bunnies he had, he didn't have any problems with keeping them safe. He sent a few hundred bunnies out to ensure that any signs of danger from a kilometer or two away could be sensed on time. Time flew by, and before anyone knew it, a week had gone by. Gray finally opened his eyes to see Void still absorbing the treasure while the bunny leader was sleeping by the side, unbothered by anything happening around him. "I took longer than expected." Gray didn't think it would take more than 5 days to heal his broken bones, but the attack of the snow leopard left some hidden force in his body. He took a glance at Void, seeing the orb which had a cat-like figure inside floating around. He couldn't help but wonder how strong Void would be after he was done absorbing this. Why didn't the tribe leader just use it for itself? Gray still didn't understand the logic behind leaving such a treasure behind when they could have just absorbed it and become even stronger. The days went by, and before long a week had gone by. While Void was absorbing the essence from the orb, Gray was fully healed and he had started heading out to see if there was anything of value around this place where Void was training. He had even caught wind of the fact that he was being hunted down by the snow leopards since he left the place. He couldn't believe those guys wouldn't let the matter rest. "They are persistent, I'll have to give them that," he thought to himself as he apprehended the second snow leopard in a day. He was found by one earlier, and not wanting any trouble after interrogating it, he kept it by his side for the meantime. At least that way it wouldn't be able to go back and expose him. Who would have thought that another one would come towards him only after a few hours? November LBJNN. Looks like its disappearance is the reason they came this way. They'll send another one here. Looks like it's time for me to start exposing myself to them. Gray didn't want them to disturb Void since he was still in the middle of whatever he was doing, so he wanted to draw them away from this place. He didn't think about it too much. He teleported to a place hundreds of kilometers away and attacked one of the snow leopards on his own. He ensured it was alive and that it could head back to the tribe leader and report to it. The tribe leader is obviously after him, so what's the harm in playing a little hide and seek? A few more days went by in this manner. To be honest, Gray was bored, and since the snow leopards wanted to keep him entertained until Void fully absorbed their treasure, then he didn't mind. Besides, during the whole hide and seek process, he has found a few things that might not be of use to him, but he could take them back to the Littleton family and it might be of use to them. There was nothing of value to him in this place, nothing that he wanted to be precise. He couldn't help but wonder why it was so hard for him to enter when most of the treasures here are common in a lot of secret realms. Ellipsis. They're onto me. This time the leader is definitely with them. If I'm caught by him, it's not going to be easy to leave again. Gray noticed that the snow leopard tribe leader was getting closer to him. It was one thing fighting just the tribe leader, if he were to fight with not just it but other snow leopards, although he enjoys fighting multiple opponents, he might not have the upper hand in this fight. The tribe leader of the snow leopards is very hard to deal with, and without his fusion orb, at least one with 5 elements, he isn't sure he will be able to cause any serious damage. The last time they fought, to a certain extent, it could be said that the tribe leader underestimated him, hence the reason he was able to catch it off guard. He tricked it a few times too, so there's also that. The tribe leader wouldn't fall for the same trick again, so he needed to avoid it at all costs. Ellipsis. The Littleton family. Gray's mother and the others were still stumped as to what was happening inside the portal. They tried sending someone in, and to their shock, the moment someone else wanted to enter, the portal separated and went back to its previous state of 3 different portals. The entire family were stumped as to the reason why the portal would have such a reaction when Gray wanted to use it, but for others it went back to the way it was. Not just that, but the person who entered didn't report seeing anything out of the ordinary. This person was transported to the same place he had been sent to the first time, and it was almost the same way, no changes, except for more signs of battle, which was normal in this place since there were magical beasts staying and they would occasionally fight each other. What's happening in there? Gray's grandfather still found it hard to explain the situation. If he didn't see it with his eyes, he would have never believed it. Eventh elders he called over, if not for the fact that they saw all 3 portals being one, they would have not believed it as well. Could the child have something that resonated with anything else in there? An elder suggested. When the others heard this, they felt it was possible that it might be true. Since Gray has gone to multiple secret realms, there's a chance that he might have gotten a treasure related to the gods who created this secret realm, and the gods might have left an inheritance there or something. At least, this theory seemed very believable. We can only wait till he comes out. I hope he's doing fine in there. Ellipsis. Fuck. Gray cursed as he flew through the sky at breakneck speed. Behind him, a large group of snow leopards, and the one leading the snow leopards was overflowing with killing intent. It was the tribe leader, and after finding Gray a few minutes ago, Gray tricked it and then launched a sneak attack and took off. It only wanted Gray to take them to the treasure since it could sense that it was being absorbed even while it was with Gray. It didn't take long for it to realize that another person was absorbing it, and it was the same person that snatched the treasure while Gray was keeping it occupied. Gray could tell that the tribe leader wanted him dead, and he very much still wanted to stay alive. There's no way he would allow himself to be caught by them. While running, he would occasionally send out fusion orbs, which although isn't too powerful since it was only a 4-colored one, it was also very effective as it has stopped the snow leopards, albeit momentarily. That short pause is enough for Gray to distance himself from them. The cat and mouse chase continued, and if there's one thing Gray was good at, it was escaping from chasers. He has mastered the art of escaping. It has been a long time since he was stuck in such a situation, but he was still very good at it. These leopards chased and chased, and even with their speed, they couldn't catch up to him just because of his annoying tactics. Gray was a very fast elementalist, who also has the space element, so he set up traps, and while these traps slow down the snow leopards, he disappears, literally. He'd teleport to another place a few kilometers away from where he was, in the opposite direction, that is. Once the snow leopards realize this, they have to turn around, which is upsetting. Even the snow leopards, the weaker ones in the early stages of the 8th rank, were finding it a bit too hard to keep up, but the tribe leader promised rewards which they have wanted for a long time, and that was to train under the treasure. The tribe leader has almost gone crazy just from chasing after Gray. It was unbelievable that a human who was in a lower cultivation stage could outwit them like this, and also outpace them, although with tricks. It couldn't deny the fact that Gray was fast, too fast for his cultivation stage. Unknown to it, Gray was using the help of his lightning, wind, and even light elements to ensure that he was out of their clutches. This was the only reason they've not been able to catch up to him till now. He was just too fast for them, except the tribe leader, and then the tricks come in. I'll kill you, rip you apart, it roared as it chased after Gray once again, forced to turn back. It didn't take more than 30 seconds before they closed the gap to Gray, but then again, he used the same trick. The tribe leader was on the verge of going insane. It couldn't believe there's someone this insidious that will make life a living hell for them. It didn't want to chase after Gray anyone, but it didn't want to give up on the treasure. The reason they were the way they are is all due to the treasure. Once it's gone, their overall strength will drop. Gray was running out of breath since he's been doing this for a while now. He paused and yelled, "Let's make a deal." The snow leopards surrounded him, but he didn't panic. He looked at the tribe leader with a serious gaze. "Let's make a deal. Do you think you're in a position to do that?" The snow leopard asked with a low growl. "Technically, yes. Technically, yes." Gray's response angered the tribe leader even more. It couldn't believe there was such a human who didn't know how to act. The human has been surrounded, no way to run, yet he was still running his mouth confidently. "Human, return what you stole and I'll leave your corpse intact," the tribe leader said as it tried to rein in its anger. "What treasure?" Gray asked with a confused expression. "Don't play dumb with me, human. You took the treasure when you came to my tribe." The tribe leader was starting to lose its temper. "No, what treasure? I was with you all through my time there. Did you see me take any treasure?" Gray asked, still with his confused expression. The tribe leader's eyes twitched when it heard Gray's words. To be honest, it indeed didn't see Gray take any treasure, but the only person that came to their tribe was Gray, so it's only natural that he is the only one who can be blamed. "You worked with someone else to steal the treasure. Hand it over, I won't say it again," the tribe leader growled. "I genuinely don't know what you're talking about," Gray said. He paused and asked, "Is it like an orb and has a small cat inside?" The eyes of the tribe leader widened as it nodded. Yes, that's it." "Where did you see it?" "I haven't seen anything like that in my life," Gray replied. Gray's reply almost made the tribe leader explode from exasperation. Gray just perfectly described the treasure to him, yet he was saying he has never seen such a treasure in his life. Even a newborn can't be fooled by these words. "What do you take me for?" the tribe leader roared. It was at its limit, and Gray wasn't giving it much of an option. "I'll kill you, I'll skin you alive, you filthy beast," the tribe leader roared and attacked. It was very fast, and within a second, it was already in front of Gray, swirling its claws at him. Gray smiled and his eyes locked with the tribe leader. The next thing, his figure changed from that of a human to a snow leopard. The tribe leader wasn't able to pause, and its swiping claw hit the new figure present there, a snow leopard in the early stages of the 8th rank. From what Gray could tell, it hasn't been long this one crossed to the 8th rank. An attack from the tribe leader who has lost control isn't something this snow leopard could take. It slammed into the ground, injured. The tribe leader froze in the same spot. It couldn't comprehend what just happened. Not just it, all the snow leopards that surrounded Gray were left flabbergasted. They didn't understand how Gray turned into a snow leopard, not just turning into one, but one that was so familiar to all of them. They could swear that they've spent years with the snow leopard the tribe leader just attacked. "You didn't tell me you wanted to kill your fellow tribesmen." Gray's voice came from the distance, a little sense of mockery could be found in it. The snow leopards turned to see Gray standing unscathed, even after being supposedly attacked by the tribe leader. One of them looked at the spot Gray was standing, and then around. That was when it hit it. Gray switched places with the snow leopard. The tribe leader felt its body shake from shock. "You can switch places with others." "Technically, yes." Gray's words reminded the tribe leader of how he responded to one of the questions it asked him when they surrounded him. The tribe leader didn't make any more moves. It looked at Gray, unsure of what to do. With the appearance of Gray's new ability, it knew that there was no way they could fight against someone like that. It would most likely seriously hurt all those around it before it could even touch Gray's shirt. Gray looked at the tribe leader who wasn't making any moves. He couldn't help but smile. He knew why it couldn't move, and looking at the other snow leopards around, he had an evil grin. "Why are you disheartened? Do you know if I can't use the move again? I mean, it does expend a lot of essence." Gray smiled as he looked at the tribe leader with a playful smile. The tribe leader wanted to make a move, but seeing the others around it and those who went to check on the injured leopard, it paused. "Human, that treasure is very important to us. Return it and I'll let the matter slide," it said to Gray. Gray looked at it and asked, "Did you see me take anything?" His question infuriated all the snow leopards present as they roared, with the exception of the injured one. The snow leopard he fought with when he first entered the tribe, attacked out of anger. Gray smiled, and just when the attack was about to land, his figure just to that of the already injured snow leopard. Boom! The snow leopard wasn't able to stop on time and its attack struck the injured snow leopard. "Are you planning to kill one of your own?" Gray asked in disdain. He looked at the other snow leopards and said, "See how they treat you guys." The tribe leader, as well as the snow leopard who fought with him before the tribe leader, felt like they were about to explode from anger. It was clear that Gray didn't want to engage them in a fight, but against multiple opponents, he was superior. They couldn't attack him due to the fear of attacking those with them. How could just one person be this hard to deal with? "Human, that treasure is valuable to us, please return it." The tribe leader calmed itself and pleaded. It's not that I don't want to give it to you, I don't know what it is. Gray replied. What do you mean you don't know what it is? The mid-stage leopard Gray fought with before asked in anger. You're talking about an orb with a figure of a cat inside, correct? Gray asked. The tribe leader and the other snow leopards nodded. Like I said, I've never seen that orb in my life. Gray added after they nodded. He described what they were searching for, but then told them he has never seen that thing in his life. To be honest, he learned how to mess with people from Klaus, and since he was bored, he wanted to see just how these snow leopards would react, and to be honest, he was quite impressed. Most humans would have tried every means they could to kill him since he was messing with them. But due to the safety of the others, the snow leopards couldn't do anything to him. Gray studied the snow leopards and shook his head. They're better than most humans. He thought to himself. He has been in such positions with humans and they always want to make sure they kill him at all costs, so he knew that most humans in such positions wouldn't care about the well-being of some unimportant people. Since I hold your kind in high esteem, I'll stop switching places with others. Gray said to them. However, he added something else before they could attack. That is if you believe me. His creepy smile at the end of his statement froze the snow leopards in their spots, none of them dared to make a move. The 2 times Gray has been attacked, he changed positions with just one figure, the same snow leopard. The tribe leader's attack injured it, same as the other attack. Given its current state, any other attack and it will certainly die. Gray's words are vague, there's a good chance that he might switch places when he's attacked. And the moment he chances places with that leopard, it means it will die, and purely under their attacks. Gray could be blamed, but they know that he never attacked anyone. Gray saw them and knew that his words and actions had affected them significantly. A smile appeared on his face as he said, why don't you guys let me leave? It's not like you want to attack me. The snow leopards looked at him, but they didn't say anything, they couldn't attack him. Attacking him might put the already injured snow leopard in serious danger. At least they could still heal it at the moment, but any further will endanger it. Chapter 1677 Disappointment in the Secret Realm. Gray looked at the leopards who were still very hesitant to attack. He couldn't help but commend their comradeship. Most humans wouldn't think twice when it involves a treasure this valuable, but these magical beasts aren't willing to hurt their companions for the treasure they rightly owned. Thinking about it, he couldn't help but feel sad for them. Although this isn't the first time he has taken or stolen a valuable treasure from people or magical beasts, he doesn't usually encounter them again, or he might have already killed them while taking the treasure. Human, return our treasure to us. The snow leopard tribe leader said in a less aggressive tone. Seeing that their fighting spirit was dead, he shook his head with a sigh and said, you can have this, I don't have any use for it. He tossed an orb at them. It's not as valuable as the item taken from them, but it is still quite valuable to these magical beasts. Having a few cores of some mid-stage rank 8 magical beasts wasn't bad. The snow leopard tribe leader took the cores. It looked at Gray, still unwilling to leave without the treasure. This was something that could help them all, including itself. These cores couldn't help it grow. I can't return it. It's of no use to me, but it's of use to my friend. He's already using it already, I can't stop him. Gray added when he saw the looks on their faces. He didn't stop there. Before leaving, I'll get you a late-stage core if possible, that should help you advance to right. When the tribe leader heard Gray's words, it was elated. Even though the treasure was valuable to the speed of their cultivation, it still isn't as fast as absorbing the core essence of a magical beast in the late stages of the 8th rank. To a magical beast like it, this was very enticing. With it, it can advance by leaps and bounds within a short period of time. Gray already gave them 4 mid-stages rank 8 magical beasts cores, adding a late stage 1 would almost be as good. If the overall strength of the snow leopards can increase in a short time frame, the consequences it will have on the region will be massive. They'll be able to take control over more areas since they're stronger now, and that will give them the opportunity to grow even faster. To a certain extent, Gray being the one who stole their treasure was a blessing instead of a curse. If you can help us with that, we'll be indebted to you. The tribe leader blurted out. If you say so. I'll call whenever I need assistance. Gray replied before disappearing. He left these words behind. I'll hunt for cat-type magical beasts for a better effect. When the snow leopard tribe leader heard this, it was overjoyed. It didn't care if Gray was hunting its kind. To be honest, they too hunt themselves, so it wasn't like it was anything strange. With a cat-type beast core of that grade, it'll be very beneficial to it. If the cat's bloodline is higher than its own, it could even use that opportunity to go through a transformation, increasing its overall strength. This was a massive win for the tribe. Return with the wound, let's have a celebration. It roared out, showing its knight before leaving with its fellow tribesmen. Ellipsis. Gray on the other hand couldn't care less about what the snow leopards had in mind. He continued to explore the place, hoping to get a cat-type magical beast he could give to the snow leopards. He didn't take the words of the tribe leader too seriously. After all, it's normal for magical beasts to show gratitude, well, with the exception of Void. How come the magical beasts with me are so odd? He couldn't help but wonder. Void and the bunny leader's thought process is completely different from that of an average magical beast. He has come in contact with some top magical beasts, but none of them are on the same level as that duo. Ellipsis. Outside the secret realm, the Littleton family. Martha was present, still shocked at the whole turn of events. Her father only wanted to give Gray the chance to go in there and grow for a short time before teaching him their method of inscribing. Who would have thought Gray would first be denied entry, before finally managing to enter with all three portals merging. Not just that, but they've brought someone to try to enter, and the portal separated, going back to normal. As soon as the person exited, the portal merged again. He should be fine. These abnormalities must be a sign of a great treasure waiting for him in there. Gray's grandfather lightly stroked his beard as he looked at the portal, his eyes gleaming with insight. I hope so, Martha said. Ellipsis. Inside the secret realm, another day had gone by. Damn it, there's nothing good here, Gray complained as he once again left another building empty-handed. He didn't expect that after all the commotion it took for him to get into this place, he wouldn't see anything of value to him. The only person who has benefited is Void. Void, aren't you done yet? He asked with a hint of impatience. He wanted to leave this barren land for good. Other than magical beasts, he hasn't seen anything worth his time. The things he keeps seeing are valuable, but that was when he was still in the venerable plane. In the sovereign plane, these things were practically useless. We can leave. Void's sleepy voice echoed in Gray's head. He couldn't help but feel jealous, not because Void acquired a treasure or that he'll go through a massive leap in strength when he's done, but because of that sole fact that Void is about to go on one of his sleeps. This sleep is different from his usual lazy sleep. He sleeps whenever he has absorbed a quality treasure which would increase his strength. Who sleeps and gets a boost? Freak. Gray cussed underneath his breath, heading straight for the exit. He has been here for a while and has searched multiple places, but he didn't sense any good treasures. On his way out, he recalled his words to the snow leopard tribe leader. While searching for treasures, he naturally saw other magical beasts, and fortunately for the snow leopard, he encountered a solitary tiger which was having a nap. It just broke through to the late stages not long ago, so he didn't have any issues with defeating it quickly, especially when he attacked it unexpectedly. Ellipsis. The snow leopard tribe. Gray soon got to the entrance. He was surprised to see the friendly manner in which he was received. He left immediately after handing over the core. There was no way to get others, and the tribe leader was happy he got this one for it. It didn't even care where it came from, just sensing the richness in it was enough to calm its mind. Ellipsis. The Littleton family. An elder was left to watch the portal while the others headed inside to discuss this anomaly. The elder was cultivating when he suddenly heard a sound. His eyes opened as he looked in the direction of the portal. He saw a figure walking out of it covered in the light of the portal. When the figure came out fully, the elder called out, Gray Dawson. N-O-V-E-J-N.C. He has never seen Gray before, so he wanted to confirm if this young man who stepped out of the portal is the famous Gray Dawson. Gray is well known across the Aurora continent purely due to the hatred the gnomes have towards him and giving out that kill order. It's been over a year or so since the kill order was passed out, and Gray was still not only alive, but he is quickly improving. At this rate, he'll catch up to the older generation in a matter of time. Gray nodded when he heard his name. He looked behind him to see the portal going back to its original state. Come with me. The elder led the way. Gray knew this was someone from the Littleton family. Besides, he wasn't afraid since the elder was only in the 5th stage of the sovereign plane. In a battle, he was confident that he would be able to defeat this man. Chapter 1678. We aren't kids. The Littleton family hall. The gnomes are already preparing for war. From what I know, there has been chaos in their world, and some princes who were fighting for the position of the next emperor were killed. If we can take advantage of this, it might give us some momentum. An old voice said. Since they're preparing for war, it means they don't care about the dead princes. Using those dead princes against them wouldn't do much good. They've been using our dead against us since we met them. What's wrong with doing the same? We can't control their dead like they do to us. It's completely different. The Littleton family were in the midst of a conversation when the door to the hall was knocked by the elder. After the elder was given an audience, he told them about Gray who was waiting outside for them. The moment they heard Gray's name, they all stood up, Martha particularly walking with the elder out as they went to get Gray. Gray and Martha walked back into the hall. and everyone's gaze landed on Gray's body. They stared at him as if wanting to see through him. This wasn't the first time Gray was in a position like this, so he wasn't fazed by their gazes. He bowed his head to greet them. Only Gray's grandfather was present here, his grandmother was nowhere to be seen. The elders all looked at Gray, before giving the family head a questioning look. They were all waiting for the same thing. What did Gray get from the secret realm? What was your experience in the secret realm? Gray's grandfather asked with a calm expression. Gray was taken aback, not expecting them to ask him about his time in the secret realm. Normally, they'd just see if he grew in his cultivation and then not bother about him again, but in this case, they were questioning him about it. It's most likely because of how difficult it was for me to enter. This was the thought in Gray's head. He knew that his grandfather would question him, but he didn't expect it to come in the presence of so many elders. I didn't get anything there even after exploring the place for days. Gray replied honestly. He didn't get anything of value. Void was the one who got something nice. All he did was fight some magical beasts and search for treasures which he unfortunately didn't find. The elders didn't expect Gray to reply in such a bland manner. According to what they saw, there was an anomaly with the portal into the secret realm. If something like that usually happens to someone, it means there's something special waiting for them. Gray saying he didn't get anything was unbelievable to those present, even to his mother as well, but she didn't have a surprised expression on since she taught him to always keep his cards close to himself. Given the number of people present, she wouldn't advise him to tell them of the treasure he acquired. Unbeknownst to Martha, Gray indeed didn't get anything from the expedition, which was also shocking to Gray himself given how difficult it was for him to enter. Originally, he thought he would have been able to get an inheritance or something due to the commotion when he wanted to enter. However, it just seems like the portal didn't want him to enter. What do you mean you didn't get anything? An elder asked with a calm tone. He raised a brow and added, all three portals merged when you were entering, there's no way you'll not get anything there. Gray let out a soft, oh, surprised at the news of all three portals merging. He didn't see it when he was heading in, nor did he see it when he came out, so he didn't have any idea something like that happened. I didn't have any idea something like that happened. But in all honesty, I didn't get anything. Everything I saw there was of no value to me, I didn't even bother to take them. He explained. Gray's words sounded arrogant to the ears of most of the elders present. Even Gray's grandfather couldn't believe Gray would say something like that. From his perspective, he felt maybe Gray didn't want to give up the treasure or whatever inheritance he got from the secret realm, and he didn't really have any issues with that. Of course he would like to know what it was, but he didn't mind Gray being the one who has it. After all, he is his grandson. The elders exchanged glances at Gray's words, and given the relationship between Gray and the Littleton family, a few of the elders didn't have a good impression of him, so the moment those elders heard this, one of them asked coldly as his aura spread out. This was a 9th stage sovereign, someone close to the very peak of the cultivation world in the Aurora continent. Other than the few people in the half-god plane, the number of people who could defeat him in the entire continent isn't up to 15. His aura came upon Gray as he tried to pressure him with it. What do you mean by that? Are you saying we don't know what we're talking about? And in the same unperturbed manner as before, Gray replied, I didn't say that. I only said I didn't take anything of value from the secret realm. I saw some things, but they weren't useful to me. I've grown past the stage where I'll take whatever I see. The fact that Gray could speak in such a calm tone even when he was being pressured by someone in the 9th stage of the sovereign plane shocked the entire room. With the exception of Gray's mother, for some reason, she believed he could achieve anything, so she wasn't caught off guard by this. He's actually able to stay so relaxed under his pressure. This was the question in the heads of everyone present. The elder who brought Gray here was beyond shocked. He has been in Gray's position a few times, and even with his cultivation stage, he can't handle it so nonchalantly. Could it be that he's faking it? Some thought this was the case, but then when they thought about how easy it was for Gray to speak, they thought against it. Maybe he didn't go all out. The minds of everyone were thinking about multiple reasons as to why Gray didn't feel the pressure. Gray's grandfather spoke up when he noticed the elder who previously unleashed his aura about to act once more. Kid, I accept that you might not want to show us what you got from the secret realm, which is quite understandable. But you should also understand that this secret realm is quite vital to the family. We have no intention of taking whatever you got in there from you, we just want to see it. This is something that has never happened, so you see why it's hard for anyone to accept that you didn't take anything out of there. N-O-V-E in .c ohm. Hearing his grandfather's words, Gray completely understood them, but the truth was that he didn't get anything of value. The only person who got something good was Void, and he didn't want these people to inspect Void. Void is a one-of-a-kind cat, and he was also sleeping at the moment. He didn't want to disturb him for something these people didn't even have any use for. Gray sighed at his grandfather's words, before replying, "Grandfather, I understand what you're saying, but I didn't get anything from there. I stayed for so long because I too believed there might have been something there for me. After searching for so long, I gave up and left." Martha looked at Gray's expression, and it started to click with her that it might indeed be true that he didn't get anything from there. She could clearly see the slight frustration in his voice when he spoke about giving up and leaving the secret realm. She not having any issues with Gray's words doesn't mean the others were the same. The elder who tried to pressure Gray the first time stood up, this time visibly upset. "Kid, everyone here are all old-timers, except for you. Do you think you can trick us?" The elder asked coldly. Most of them didn't see Gray as a member of the Littleton family, so they didn't think they needed to go easy on him. Gray's grandfather looked at the situation with some concern on his face. He didn't expect things to turn out like this. Chapter 1679 Misunderstanding in the Littleton Manor. Gray looked at the elder who asked the question and replied, still as calm as the first second he walked in, "I'm not trying to trick anyone, I did not get anything from the secret realm." The elder took a glance at the family head, Gray's grandfather. Although he wanted to act, he still had to wait for the family head so as not to come off as disrespectful. After all, the family head was there for a reason, and this situation was one of those reasons. Of course, there are cases where the decision of the family head might not be in line with that of the elders. Gray's grandfather could almost feel a headache coming. He too was having a hard time believing Gray didn't get anything from it. The signs were there, how could he say he didn't get anything from it? What seemed to piss the elders off more isn't just the fact that Gray was lying to them, it was the fact that he was telling them that he didn't see anything that was of value to him, hence the reason he didn't bother taking anything. They've sent multiple people in there and none of them has ever said something like this. Even the geniuses from other top families and factions who have a close relationship with the Littleton family and have entered this place have never uttered such a word. "Gray, did you really not get anything from there?" he asked, this time, his tone a bit firmer. He didn't want to make it seem like he was being soft on Gray. Gray shook his head before adding, "I have no reasons to lie to you. If indeed I did get anything, I have no problem with handing it over to you. You're going to believe the words of this kid. He's obviously lying." Another elder spoke up. He added, "Taking a treasure from our family and handing it over to the Dawson family will never happen again." At the end of the elder's statement, he took a glance at Gray's mother who was standing beside her son. Gray knew that the elder was taking a jab at his mother and his expression changed slightly, but only for a second before returning to normal. He wasn't an erratic person, so he knew not to react to everything. He looked at the elder with a calm expression and asked, "Why are you so certain I got something from the secret realm?" The portals merged. It must have meant something. From what we know, each portal leads to a different place for training, and each place has a few treasures to be picked up. For all three portals to merge as you go in means that a secret area in the secret realm must have been open to you. The elder explained. Gray didn't seem moved by the elder's explanation. "That doesn't explain how you're so sure I got something from the secret realm." The elder wanted to speak, and Gray interrupted. "You just told me all three portals merged, which might have been a significant sign. I, on the other hand, had no knowledge of that until it was spoken about here. The secret realm undoubtedly gave me a strange feeling while I was inside, but even after all my exploration, I didn't see anything that was beneficial to me." Gray made the same statement as before. "I didn't know I was obligated to bring whatever I found there outside even when it's of no use to me or anyone I know." The elders were all staring at Gray. They knew he had a point, but the thought of possibly losing a great treasure right under their noses didn't sit well with them. Yes, they couldn't prove that Gray brought anything out of the secret realm, it doesn't mean that they'll believe that he didn't. "Hand over your storage ring," the elder who tried to use his pressure on Gray before demanded. Gray's eyes instantly turned cold the second he heard this, and before he could speak, a cold snort came from beside him. "Uncle Wigbert, my son just told you he didn't take anything from the secret realm. Are you planning on forcing him to hand over his storage ring?" Martha's tone was cold. It was clear that she was not going to allow anyone to take advantage of Gray, especially in her presence. "The boy is a liar, and he knows for a fact that you will protect him." The elder referred to his Uncle Wigbert replied coldly. The atmosphere in the hall got intense, and Martha stepped in front of Gray. Her intentions were clear. If anyone dared to bully her son, she would not take it lightly. November LBJNN. I've always wanted to test the strength of the daughter who abandoned our family even after she was born and trained to become a genius by this said family. Uncle Wigbert levitated from the ground by an inch or so. He looked at Martha and said, "I'm not your father, and I will discipline you." "Why?" "Enough." Gray's grandfather, the family head, calmed the brewing flames. He looked at the elder known as Uncle Wigbert and then at Martha. His gaze was cold. "This will be the end of this," he said commandingly. He added after another moment of silence, "Martha, you can leave with him for now, I'll send for you after we're done with our meeting." Martha didn't say a word, she bowed before turning to leave. Gray did the same, and just as they were about to leave, they heard the family head's voice once again. "Tell Lucas he can join us too." About 150 kilometers away from the Littleton family manor, Lucas could be seen blocked by two figures who wore large cloaks that covered their entire body, including their heads and face. "Lucas Dawson, I wonder why you're hiding out here, so far from home," one of the figures asked, his voice archaic. It was as if the owner of the voice had been around for hundreds of years, and now his voice seems to have transcended the normal mortal realm. "Elders, it is normal for people of our status to wander around sometimes, you never know where one can get a flash of inspiration," Lucas replied with a relaxed smile. "We have no issues with you wandering, however, with what is happening in our manor right now that involves your son, we do not entertain you loitering around here." The other figure spoke up. They're all updated with Gray leaving the secret realm and the clash they've had with some of the elders. "I'm here to ensure my son is in no form of danger, nothing else." Lucas didn't really care too much about this duo in front of him. The only reason he hasn't made a move yet is due to the fact that Martha told him that there was no way her father would allow anyone to attack Gray. "As long as he does as he's told, your son will naturally meet no danger in our manor. He is the grandson of the family head," the duo said simultaneously, their voices blending perfectly into each other. Lucas wanted to speak when he got a message from Martha, signifying that they've left the Littleton Hall. Martha had alerted him when the anomaly happened, and since he didn't have much to do, well, nothing was as important as his son and wife, especially now that they were finally together. He left what he was doing and rushed here. When he sensed Gray's aura, he wanted to go closer when he was stopped by this duo. He had sensed their presence from the first time they were watching him. Hearing that Gray could leave the hall, and that his father-in-law wanted to see all three of them, he heaved a sigh of relief. At least the issue won't escalate any further, hopefully. Their senses are sharp. Lucas clicked his tongue. He didn't expect that the duo would notice him the second he got close, but they did. And since he didn't try to advance, they didn't confront him. It was only after he came out from his hiding place in the mountain, did they step out to block him. "My father-in-law is sending for me, I suppose you two have gotten the information already." He gave the duo a bright smile. The duo didn't say a word and disappeared from view. Lucas has been to the Littleton family before, so it wasn't like he was banned. Littleton Manor. Martha and Gray were in a room conversing when Lucas stepped into the place. "I still can't believe you called him over." Gray was still taken aback that his mother would call his father to come here, all because the portal merged when he stepped in. "Just to be on a safer side." Martha chuckled. One of the reasons she called her husband over was because he was quite adept with spatial realms like this. Since he helped create the god's tomb they entered the last time, she felt with him around, there's a chance they might be able to get into the secret realm if Gray can't come out. Yes, the experts of the Littleton family were present, but she still felt it was safer if Lucas was present. Lucas looked at Gray and shook his head. "You guys have only been gone a few days and you've already caused a commotion." Gray wore a wrong face. "It's not my fault the portal reacted that way. I thought there would be something good in there, I didn't expect to come back empty-handed." "You really came back empty-handed?" Martha still found it hard to believe, even though Gray had told her 3 times already while they were alone. "Yes, Mom, I didn't find anything that was useful to me. I fought a few beasts, but that was it. None of them were special or anything." Gray didn't show any signs of frustration, even though he had to tell his mother what he had previously told her. "Maybe it reacted to you, not that there's anything special there, it just reacted due to what's in your body," Lucas speculated. Gray had also thought about this possibility as well. He thought that there might be something connecting the orb in his body and the secret realm. People have been going into the secret realm for years now, and no one was able to cause such a reaction. Given the uniqueness and mystery of the orb, it's not out of place to say that it was the reason why the portals merged. Maybe the orb was too powerful for just one of the 3 created spaces, so all 3 had to merge for it to withstand the orb. These were just thoughts going through their heads though. None of them spoke about the orb, they just nodded in unison after Lucas's words. "Will I still be able to learn their way of inscribing?" Gray asked. This was the only thing he had in his head right now. He originally came here for the sake of learning their way of inscribing, and after seeing it in action, he was fascinated by it and wanted to start training on it already, but who would have thought that his grandfather would first want to test his strength, before sending him into a secret realm that will cause such a commotion. The elders are clearly still holding a grudge against his mother, which in turn made them not have a good opinion of him. Some of the elders wouldn't mind killing him there and then. This is something he's all too aware of. These elders will not think twice about killing the son of someone they see as an outcast of the family. In truth, the main reason they were still reserved might just be his father, Lucas Dawson. The fear of having an enraged powerhouse waiting to kill you isn't something any of the elders would want. Even the top experts who were in seclusion in the Littleton family wouldn't want Lucas Dawson to attack their family. They'd rather stay clear of him than try to pick a fight with him. Gray noticed how all the elders acted, especially the ones who didn't like his mother. Although they were not happy with Gray's words, none of them showed killing intent. They showed annoyance with his words, and some of them wanted to discipline him, but none of them had the thought of ever trying to take his life, at least not in a place like that where their identity would be exposed. Father will teach you, you don't have to worry about that. The elders will crawl back to their caves since they know there's nothing they can get from you now. Martha softly caressed Gray's face. Gray didn't mind his mother treating him like a child, and hearing that he will still be able to learn this way of inscribing made him happier. The trio started speaking of other things. Littleton Family Hall. The other elders were gone, leaving only the family head and Elder Wigbert. This is unacceptable, you know there's no way the kid didn't take anything, why are you protecting him? Elder Wigbert still didn't understand the rationale behind the family head's decision. He's my grandson, and I do not think he's lying. The family head stated straightforwardly. I hope you will not regret the decision you've made today. Elder Wigbert disappeared with this statement. The family head didn't bother with Elder Wigbert's words, they had more important things at hand, a war is coming. This isn't the time to have internal strife. His eyes closed, almost to a slit as he ordered for Lucas, Martha, and Gray to be called over. Littleton Family Hall. 5 people could be seen present here. Gray's grandparents were sitting opposite them. Gray, I'll ask you in the presence of your parents, did you get anything from that place? Gray's grandfather asked calmly. He wanted to be sure, and with only the 5 of them there, he felt he made it safe enough for Gray to speak the truth. Gray bowed his head slightly to show his grandfather respect before he replied, I have already spoken to my mother about this as well, I did not get anything from the secret realm. Net. Gray's grandfather looked at Martha, who nodded her head. She asked Gray repeatedly, and the answer was the same. She even asked telepathically, and the answer was still the same. Void is the one who got something, not me. Yet I'm the one being interrogated. Gray couldn't help but feel envious of Void's current state. After absorbing a top-tier treasure, he went to sleep, leaving all the work for him to do. However, he knew to keep shut about Void acquiring such a treasure there. Gray's grandfather sighed, a bit disappointed that even with that commotion, Gray wasn't able to obtain anything from the secret realm. He thought Gray might have reached the criteria to make an inheritance appear in the secret realm, but from the looks of things, it might just be an accident or a mistake. The thought of taking Gray there once again flashed through his head, and after giving Gray and Martha a glance, he decided against it. You all know about the gnomes preparing for war soon, correct? He changed the topic. All 3 nodded. I'm thinking of meeting with those old guys, they are the ones with more experience when it comes to fighting against the gnomes. He continued, and given how they've been living a reclusive life all these years, I believe they will also have a lot of things from the ancient times they could pass on to the next generation. Lucas nodded and said, I've been trying to see an elder from one of the top faction back then that is still around, but he has denied me an audience every time. That's in line with their character, so I'm not surprised. Gray's grandfather didn't seem surprised by Lucas's words. His few living ancestors are the ones who those elders might be willing to see. Lucas might be just as strong as these old guys, but he's still not on their level. Uncle, how many of these ancient factions do you know are still standing? Lucas asked in a respectful manner. He knew about a few ancient factions, but he wasn't 100% certain that he knew all of them. Altogether, Gray's grandfather paused. He looked at Lucas, 18. Each one of these factions have shocking reserves, and I believe their all-out defense will be nothing short of breathtaking, literally. Lucas thought about the 12 ancient factions he stumbled upon and couldn't help but shake his head. There were still 6 he couldn't locate no matter how hard he tried. He continued to speak with Gray's grandfather about the visit and how they could get these ancient factions to prepare the younger generation for the upcoming war. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.